ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत दिशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। I welcome everyone for today's
Hare
session. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I'm posting the attendance link in the chat box. Someone asked, please post in the chat. Later, whoever joins. Let's take blessings of Sri Sri Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada. So we were discussing chapter 9. So we just covered 2 sections because they were very detailed purport on the initial verses. So the chapter name, what is the chapter name?
The most confidential knowledge.
Yeah, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya. Okay, so yeah, we heard about like hearing about Krishna and qualifications. And someone tell me what is the qualifications which Krishna mentioned? What are the main qualifications if we have to say, what are those which is mentioned for understanding the Lord? What is the qualification which Krishna gave? Yes, non-enviousness and having faith, right? right? The faith. So being non-envious, that is, he says, mentioned that anasuyave. So that is a qualification of Arjuna, and also to have faith in the scriptures and in the what Krishna is saying. So if we don't have faith in the words of Lord, then obviously we will never be able to know the Lord and his pastimes, everything, his form. So, and then Krishna explains about his different energies, and we saw that how he is maintaining, like he is, Krishna says that Maya Dekshena Prakriti Suyete Sacharacharam. So, everything is running as per Krishna's instruction, but then Krishna still stays aloof, right? So, this we understood. And today we will see the section C, non worshippers and worshippers. And then in the section D, Krishna is the supreme object of worship. And section E, the glories of directly worshipping Krishna. Avajananti mamudhaha manushin tanumashritam param bhavamajanantaha mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. So here Krishna is talking about the people who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. So Krishna mentions here that when I descend in human form. So when the Lord comes to this material world, so what does Krishna say in the chapter 4? How does he come? Does he come as a normal human being like us? Or how does he appear? I want you all to be more open and discuss in the class. It would be more interesting. If I'm me alone speaking, then I don't know whether if people are hearing me or not hearing. I can't. I know, like most of you know, because but then why you are not participating, I don't understand. Hare Krishna. Yeah, ordinary human. Ordinary human? No. What did he say in chapter 4 that what did he say about his birth? Janma karmacha me divyam, right? Krishna says that my birth and the activities are transcendental. So we should not consider one. I mean, Krishna, while taking birth, he appears in the four-handed form of Lord, like Lord Vishnu, Shankha Chakra and Gada Padma, and also the activities of the Lord. Like we have so many demons that he killed when he was very small child, and Krishna never used any weapons for killing any demons, right? So and so many activities he has done, like lifting of Govardhan Hill, it would be, or showing the Virat Roop. So these are all very uncommon activities, right? Apart from killing demons and showing the whole universe in his mouth to his mother, Mother Yashoda. So all these are very not humanly activities. It's all superhuman activities. So Krishna says that the fools will not understand, though, I mean, who usually, and many people, I mean, even the Mayavadis, they say that Krishna is or I mean, he comes, the Lord, I mean, even if they accept, they say that it is not the Krishna, he don't have a form. He comes and the Maya is more powerful for them because Maya takes over and the Lord forgets that he is Lord, and then he become one, right? After, I mean, they consider everyone to be the Lord, right? Narayana means everyone is Lord, and that is Mayavadis say, and they consider that the Lord means he should not have form. Why they say so? Because they are afraid. Because if there is a form, they feel that there is miseries. But actually, Krishna's form is not ordinary form. His is transcendental. What is meaning of transcendental? It is above the three modes. We are conditioned soul. We are, when we come to this world, right? We are conditioned by three modes. But Krishna is above three modes. Is Satchidananda Vigraha. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. No? Is Sach It Ananda. So three also is there. Its the body is of Satchidananda. So but this is not known by the fools. So Prabhupada says, like, it is just like if when a prime minister, he goes to a jail or something to visit, to see the how is it functioning, or to see the criminals there, right? But then what the criminals think, but he's also one more criminal, because if there's somebody don't know him, who is he? So they will obviously think that, oh, he's also one more like us. So there's the same thing happening when Krishna comes, though he comes in his transcendental body, and but people deride him. I mean, they don't consider him to be the uh, Supreme Lord. So there are three terms in, if we see in Sanskrit, right? Janati, Ajanati, Ajananti, sorry. Jananti, Ajananti, and Avajananti. So what is Jananti means? To know. To know what? To know that Krishna is the absolute truth. And to know, by knowing that, and this is what is said in Krishna says that it's like a palashruti. What is the advantage of knowing Krishna? That he is transcendental, and knowing in exact, right? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham. Once who leaves this body, punarjanmana vidyate. Tyaktva deham punarjanmam naiti mameti sorjuna. So again, the person will not have to come back to this material life. So once we understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, because in the other yogas, if we see, there is no engagement in service of the Lord, but only in the Bhakti Yoga, the devotee engages, right? In different services. Like yesterday we saw how, like Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the different process of doing bhakti towards God. And there are many acharyas who have showed us the way, right? And who have attained perfection. So there, even Bhagavatam speaks about different people who have attained perfection just by doing their devotional service. So once we have the faith, which was being stressed upon yesterday by the Lord, right? Ashraddha dana of Purusha, he says that whoever is not believing in this, obviously they will fall down. So they will have to come back to this material world. So we need to have faith in the words of Lord, where Krishna speaks in so many places that one has to take bhakti. See, we cannot worship somebody who don't have a form, right? Why will Krishna say that do worship to me, or do the service? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. You pay obeisances unto me, right? So that is the final shloka. Where Krishna says that think of me, pay obeisances of me. So we can only do to somebody who has a form, and for that Krishna is coming in the form of Archavigraha, out of mercy, right? So that we can perceive his form and we can worship. And then what is Ajananti? Ajananti means not knowing. So not knowing is a ignorance. So ignorance is of no excuse, saying that, right? So even if we are ignorant also, we have to go through that, the cycle of death, birth and death. So there's no excuse if we think. So because it becomes a responsibility, having a human life, it is our responsibility, because for that reason Krishna has given the intelligence. And somehow or other, I mean, but Prabhupada says in 7.28, right? Yesterday we were saying, but how is one come to devotional service? Only when all his sinful activities are diminished. Like only then a person is able to take into devotional service seriously. Otherwise, he will not be able to take. Esham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. Te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam drudavrataha. Drudavrata means with determination. So drudavrata, if we have to become, then all those things has to go. Dvandva mukta. So, but we are in duality right now, right? Esham tvantagatam papam. But once that is all clear, then the person takes up seriously. So ignorance of Lord Krishna will result in birth and death. We have to take in different species of life based on our karmas. Avajananti. Avajananti means what? See, one is to know, one is not know. But the other one, the avajananti here, it means that misunderstanding about Krishna. Like they know something, but taking in like, for example, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was having discussion with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, right? So he says that this Vedanta Sutra, he listens for 7 days from him, the Vedanta Sutra, because he thought that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu don't know anything because he's always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So let me give him some gyan, right? So he thinks and he gives the Vedanta knowledge. And after hearing all that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't speak anything for 7 days. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was a great Mayavadi of that time, and he thought that, okay, this person didn't understand anything. So then he says, I think I am not able to know whether you have understood anything or not, because you are not speaking anything. It's been 7 days. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, I have, my dear sir, I have understood everything. But then whatever you are giving the explanation, because that is the called, the Mayavadis refer Shankaracharya's Sharirika Bhashya, right? The Bhashya, which is not clear, which is so much of interpretation. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the Vedanta is itself so clear like sun. It doesn't need any speculation, but you are doing so much and you are covering the real meaning of it, right? And then he says, okay, then you explain. So it's a long discussion they both have. It's a very nice chapter which comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I think. So there, and finally, what happens after listening to him, and he asked him, please explain me about some this Atmarama verse. So he gives many. I don't remember exact. Must be some 16 or 18 meanings of one word. And then after hearing all that, he was convinced that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he becomes his disciple. And many of the Mayavadis, like more than 10,000 people who were his disciples, and everybody surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the case of Mayavadis, because they take because why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Mayavadis are dangerous. He says Mayavadi bhashena sunile to huvesh sarvam nash. So whatever little we know also we will forget. We will not be able to understand Lord. And he says why? Because at least atheistic people, what they do, they say that we don't know Lord, they'll not touch. But these people, they touch Vedas, and then they say that Krishna don't have form. He don't have a, I mean, it is he's formless. So that is more like if somebody, we are calling them on stage and saying that this person don't have eyes, ears, nose, how it will feel. But Krishna has everything. It's only that it is not material like us, but it is transcendental. Mogha mogha karmana mogha jnana vichetasah rakshasi masurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha. Those who are thus bewildered or attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So, Mogasha means they are covered. So, Krishna does not reveal, right? So, this is similar in 7th chapter also we see where Krishna says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritah mudoyam nabijanati loke mamajama vyayam. So, Naham prakasha sarvasya, I don't reveal to everyone. So, like that, so these people are bewildered by their own thoughts because of their atheistic views. They will never be able to in that deluded condition, right? So they are not their hope for liberation. So there's no hope for liberation. They'll have to come again to this material world, and they're engaged in fruitive activities or different sacrifices, which will not benefit them at all, right? So their culture of knowledge, because this knowledge of no use, because all knowledge, it is said, it leads to Krishna. But then if that is not leading to Krishna and they are only doing mental speculation, so then all that is defeated, Krishna says here. So what will be the fate of Duratma? So they are attracted by demonic and atheistic view. So hope for liberation and fruitive activities, culture of knowledge, all are defeated. So we know, like, right? Actually, Hiranyakashipu was really knowledgeable, and I mean, he had done so much of austerity. He had got so much of power. He was able to, he could make demigods to work for him. I mean, whatever he orders, they used to do because they were so afraid because he had so much of power. But then what did happen? Right? Yeah, Lord Narsimhadev came and killed him. And so whatever knowledge these people have, that will not come to their help. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah bhajantyananya manasah jnatva bhutadimapyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So Krishna, so what will the pure devotees do who are not deluded? They are very clear in their goal, right? In their understanding of the Lord. They know that the what the Mayavadis think is a Brahman. So that is also a feature of the Lord. It's a basic understanding. That is, Krishna says, Krishna has three, one can understand absolute truth in three phases, right? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So they know that that is also coming from the Lord. It is just effulgence of the Lord, and and they know they have the proper understanding. So that is why they come under protection of divine nature. So Krishna always protects the pure devotees, and we see this in many examples. How, like, right, in the case of Pandavas, or it could be Prahlad Maharaj, how Krishna was always protecting when they were in problem. So and so they always protect. And in this picture, anyone can identify who is this devotee? Yes. Anyone knows who is the devotee here in the picture?
Hare Krishna Mataji, is it Madhvendra Puri?
Yeah, Madhvendra Puri. Madhvendra Puri and the Lord. So this is, I'll not go into deep. So basically Krishna, how he comes to help, like he comes to give milk, because he didn't have, the devotee didn't have anything whole day. So Krishna know that that he is fasting. So I mean, he is not having any, because he was like, he was such a pure devotee, he would never go for even doing Madhukari. He would only eat if somebody gives him. Otherwise, he will not even ask. So Krishna has a Paramatma in heart. So he understands everyone. And he says, no, what is that? I says that he's a friend of, I mean, he will never forget them. Sachamena pranashati. What is that shloka which says, I am always friend of him and he is a friend of mine. So Krishna will always remember them. So he comes and gives him the milk to drink, you know. And actually for Madhvendra Puri, he came in his, 2-3 times in dreams, and he instructed also. So this is what Krishna has the relationship with the devotees. So he's protected by divine nature. So divine nature means this is Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is protecting, because we are all under the Mahamaya, that is the material nature. But Krishna has two energies. No, one is internal energy, three energies actually. Internal, external, and marginal. So we come under marginal energy, and the pure devotees are protected by the internal potency of the Lord, Radharani. And Radharani's expansion only is the Mahamaya also, right? So they are all engaged in devotional service because they know me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they're convinced, and he is the original and inexhaustible. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drudavratah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So how do they engage in the devotional activity? Always they chant the glories of the Lord. So we know in the pure devotees, if you see, so always they are either chanting the holy name of the Lord. They're never, they don't, they never feel saturated, right? I mean, they're not tired of chanting. They, I mean, the whole day we see like Haridas Thakur, right? I mean, very hardly he had time to sleep and to have his food. So most of the time he was standing. We can't even, we find so much of difficulty to do 16 rounds, but then 192 rounds. Can you imagine that? How was he doing? But of course, it's humanly impossible, because he's a incarnation of Lord Brahma, right? It's not so. It's not an ordinary person, though. It's like after Brahma Vimoha Leela, he wanted repent on his activity, and he asked Krishna, that I want to be born in a low birth, and that's how he comes, right? That's the story of Haridas Thakur. And so they are always chanting the glories, and Prabhupada also, like always either chanting. So glories, chanting holy name, or it could be speaking about Krishna also. It is not that only chanting means only the chanting Hare Krishna mantra. It is also when we are speaking the glories of the Lord, talking of the pastimes, right? So engaging in pastime. So, and this is what Krishna said in chapter, okay, it comes in next chapter, right? Machitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So how do they engage, my devotees, when they know that Krishna? So they engage in the Machitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam. So they speak to each other about me, and they take so much of enjoyment in their happiness in their tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Tushyanti is they are very satisfied. No? So these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So external activities of a Mahatma. So they're continuously engaged. So they are in preaching Krishna consciousness to the whole world. So this is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and this is Prabhupada sitting here. Abhay Charan, right? Was just 26 years old when he met his Guru Maharaj. And that time he said, you go to West and you have to give this Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Gita, to the whole world. And also he said, you have to publish the books. And Prabhupada was also, when he was in India for 40 years, he tried very hard to spread Krishna consciousness, but only one devotee was able to make before he left. Right, 40 years he was not able to make much devotees. He did so much of hardship. He went through so much of hardship. He published Back to Godhead magazine, and that was also with so much difficulty. And I mean, he didn't have money for that. So, but continuously he was engaged in the working for Krishna. Right, in Jhansi also, he tried to have he opened for devotees, but then it didn't go for long because the governor's wife took it for that building, which was given by the governor. Later she used for some ladies club activity, something. So that also gone from Prabhupada, and he couldn't do anything. But then after, because Krishna's plan was that he had to go there, and then only Krishna gave him everything, right? But very short time. I mean, Prabhupada got success very soon after going. Like initial 1 year, he struggled a lot. But then later, I think in a span of 10 years, he was able to do 108 temples around the world. And then he made more than 10,000 devotees. It's not a joke, right? Because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's disciples, they couldn't do for many years. They stayed in London. And it is said that 1 or 2 devotees they were able to make, that's all. But then Prabhupada had blessing from Krishna, and he's a pure devotee. So we know, like, and how many books he published. And that was also his Guru Maharaj's order, that you have to write as much as books as possible. Prabhupada has written more than 60 books. So yeah, so we can see always, and also Arjun. So they're all pure devotees. So there are many devotees we can see in Bhagavatam. So always, how can we identify the pure devotee? Always chanting about the glories of the Lord. We hear them always speaking only that. So as spiritualist is said to be very silent. Prabhupada says in chapter 17 that silent does not mean that he should not talk that prajalpa, but then he should always talk about Krishna. That is so, because you cannot be silent. No, we are not like the Jnanis or the Mayavadis. They say that okay, Maya will attack, we will not speak. No, but we will be speaking about the Lord. So bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worshipping me. Satatam kirtayantam. ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्. Others who engage in sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second, as diverse in many and in universal form. So now Krishna is explaining about different forms of worship. So here 3 things have been mentioned in this shloka. So by sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge, that is the impersonalist, right? That is what they do. I mean, there are different type of sacrifice, if you remember in chapter 4, which speaks about different type of sacrifices. And then there Krishna mentions that cultivation of knowledge is also a sacrifice. So give me a second. Yeah. So ekatvena, prutatvena, bahuda vishvatomukam. So 3 people have been mentioned here. So ekatvena means thinking that, becoming one with Lord. So that is Mayavada philosophy. Krishna explains about that. And more we see about this in the becoming one, right? So one is, they worship me in oneness, thinking themselves as God. So that is one. And then the pritatvena means separately. So thinking that demigods are different entities. Actually, they are also part and parcel of the Lord. But thinking that they are different and worshipping them separately, but not watering the roots, right? So that is pritatvena. And bahuda vishwatomukha means there are still few devotees who worship the Vishwarupa form of the Lord, or the universal form. So we see this in chapter 11 also. So worshippers of universal form and worshipper of demigods. Aham kraturaham yagnaha swadaham aushadam mantro hamahame vajyam aham agniraham hutam. But it is I who am the ritual. I the sacrifice, the offering of ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am butter, I am fire, and the offering. So fire is also coming from the earth element. I mean, one of the material elements, right? It's all coming. So whatever we see, it is the energy of Lord only. So it's a material element there, if you see. So the mantra is also the transcendental chanting. That is also the Lord. So everything Krishna says, represents me. Sorry. Pitahamasya jagataha mata data pitamahaha vedyam pavitram onkaraha riksamaya jurevacha. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also Rik, Sama, and Yajur Vedas. So we know that from Krishna, all the Vedas have come, right? Krishna says that Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyo. I am to be known from the Vedas. So Krishna has given the Vedas, but then object of that knowledge is Krishna, right? One has to know the Lord. That is the purpose of reading the Vedas. And also Krishna is the father of universe, because nobody else. He is the father, he is the mother. And he says the support and the grandsire also, because he's father to even our grandfather, who is Lord Brahma, right? So Krishna is father of everyone. So he's the Adi Purush. Nobody was there when Krishna was there. Seeing everything as manifestation of God, Krishna as all relationship. So in the material world also, every one of us have father, mother, right? We have our relations, or many relationships are there in the material world we share. So, but then we have to see them as part and parcel of the Lord, right? So everyone are coming from Lord only. And he is Data. Data means is the supporter, because he is the one who is supporting everyone, all the living entities. So that is why Krishna is the support Data. And then purifier, that subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position, is also Krishna. So even because of by chanting, we get purified, right? So that which is helping us to purify is also Krishna, because that is non-different from the Lord himself. And then the Omkara also represents the Lord. and all the Vedas. Because all the hymns have Omkara, therefore it is Krishna. In the material existence, we create different relationship with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as of our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcel of Krishna. So all these are actually temporary relationships because we have taken so many lives, and this life we are with some relations and some, I mean, because of some karma and everything. So whatever we are in a situation also, it's all like actually because of the I mean, it's all arrangement by Lord. It's not by accident something happening or accidentally we meet someone in life or anything. Nothing is accident. Everything is arranged. So that is why it is said, if something like if something happened bad in our life also, we should, instead of blaming that person, we should only think that he was only just a messenger to me, right? I mean, I had to get that anyway. He had just come like a postman, right? So someone comes and give to you a post, right? A postman comes and delivers. Do we get angry at the postman? I mean, if there is something wrong in the letter, no, right? So what is postman had to do in that? I had to get it and I got it. That's it. So if we see like that, then there is no we need not worry much, right? There's so much of peace. So I'm the goal, I'm the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refugee, and the most dear friend. I'm the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. So Krishna is the goal. So everyone has different goals in life. So the final goal is Krishna, because we are, every time we keep some goals and finally once we achieve that, then we are not happy. We keep on searching for something. Actually, we are searching for Krishna, right? So that we don't know. So but then once we get that goal, then there is no more, I mean, again, searching for some other goal, because he is the final goal. And he is the sustainer, the master, the witness. So he is a upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwarah paramatmeti chapyuktaha dehesmin purushah parah. So it comes in chapter 13. So upadrashta anumanta. So the main, what is the super soul doing in our heart? The upadrashta. He witness all the activities. So what am I doing from so many lives? So Krishna is accompanying me, and he's waiting for us, right? So when this person will turn towards me. So he's witnessing all the activities, and Anumanta, he's granting us. So these are the two things which super soul does. And is the abode, the refugee, and most dear friend. No, Krishna says in chapter 4 also that I am the most dear friend. We think that many other people are, I mean, we have different friends, but everything comes to an end. Nothing is permanent. I mean, we have all experienced that. Not that like every friendship will follow for a whole lifetime. I mean, it's very fortunate if people are having such friends, but many times there are some relationships which may end. I mean, there was something we have to learn in that, so we got it. So then it moves on, right? So it is like, but Krishna is always there for us. He's always there as a well-wisher, and he's always waiting when we turn towards him so that he can instruct us to go in a right path. No? And oh Arjuna, I control heat, the rain, and the drought. I am immortality, and I am also death personified. Both being and non-being are in me. So both the non-moving item entities, and so non-moving means the trees, the mountains. So these things don't move, right? So they are all non-moving. So everything is in Krishna. So Krishna is the one. He says here, I am the controlling the heat, the rain, and the drought. No? So Krishna is everything. So what is the destination of somebody who study Vedas? Here Krishna explains. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. They take birth on the planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So So whoever study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, right? So this who want to go to heavenly planet, so they are worshipping me indirectly, because Devata worship is indirect worship. Krishna says that is not a direct worship. That is not intelligent one. Even in the 7th chapter, same thing Krishna says, that the worshippers of demigods are not intelligent, because they don't know they're wrong, they're worshipping in a wrong way, right? So here also he says that indirectly they are worshipping, and they can go to the planet of Indra. But then we saw in chapter 8, right? Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartino arjuna mamupetyetu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So even if you go to the Lord of Brahma's planet, you have to come back again. And what to speak of Indra, right? Even the heavenly planet. But people can enjoy until they have their pious merits, right? Until that get over, they can enjoy. And it is said in the uh, heavenly planet, it is more than 10,000 times more the sense gratification there. People senses are so strong, they will never be very soon satisfied. And also their body is not like us, right? And they can enjoy for long time. And there is no disease and these things there. So very for long time they enjoy. So then, but what happens in next shloka, it says, when thus they have enjoyed heavenly sense pleasure, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, through the Vedic principle, they achieve only flickering happiness. So after this fairy wheel we can see here, right? So how it goes up and we have to come down, right? In this, so similarly, whoever goes to the heavenly planet, they have to come down again to the Martya Loka. That is, Shrine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. Once the pious deed are over, then they have to come back to this material world. So whoever is following, so these Vedas, they have different sections. So where such it like gradually the Vedic principles are formed in such a way, so to bring person gradually to the platform of Ananya Bhakti, to worship the Lord. But then to come to that stage, it is not easy for everyone. So slowly, little bit of sense, I mean, that is regulated sense enjoyment along with worship of Lord is being mentioned in the Vedic principles. So, but then people, if they are attached to only that and enjoying the sense gratification, so what is their destination? So they have to come back again, and this happiness is flickering. Flickering means there's no permanent. But in Krishna consciousness, when you when a devotee goes to Goloka, it's always happiness. No, it's blissful. Sachid Ananda, always it's happiness. But here it is flickering. Now, what will be the so the result of worshipping demigod? So this is basically comes in the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, right? Perform yajna to get Swarga. When they acquire enough credit, goes to demigod planet, enjoy lot of pleasure. So the same thing, even in the chapter 4 also it is there. I think 12th shloka. Kangshata karmanam siddhim yajantaiha devataha shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So Kangshata Karmanam Siddhim. So in aspiring for some material benefit, they worship the demigods. And in this world, Ihaloka means in this material world, it's very easy to obtain also. They give off very easily. And even Lord Brahma also gave the whatever he asked, Hiranyakashipu he gave. But then finally, even Lord Brahma could not save him, right? So because the liberation is only possible by Vishnu. And this is confirmed by Lord Shiva also. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param. So the highest, and also mukti, the deliverer of mukti is only, and this is told by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati, that only Lord Vishnu can give the liberation. So by worshipping devatas, one cannot attain. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityaviyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. But those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So Krishna whoever, like the pure devotees, right? So Krishna says that I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So once there was a devotee uh, called Arjunachari. Any of you know this story? I think maybe in level 1 they told about this.
No, Mataji, we don't recall.
Mm, no one of you know? Have you heard about Arjuna Chari? No? Okay. So there was a devotee where uh, he was very pure devotee of the Lord. So he was meditating upon this verse. It was his favorite verse. Always used to chant. Actually, he had a gurukul. He had more than 20 boys, and they were not really rich. They were poor, and I mean, they were struggling for food. Right? It was not easy for them. So he had to go for Madhukari, beg, and because Brahmana, right? Brahmana means that only. Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Prigya means he has to borrow and eat. So he was doing that, but he was very attached to this verse. He was always meditating. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityaviyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. I will take care. I will what I carry whatever they lack and preserve what they have. So and then he was what happened one day, and he thought like Krishna says, I carry. How is it possible? He's a supreme lord of the universe. How can he do personally? Maybe he will send his agents, like how he maintains the material world with the demigods, right? So he thinks like that. So cannot be possible. So what does he do? One day he scratches those and he writes there, I will send someone instead of I, because he thought Krishna cannot come directly. And he did that, and then his wife says that, okay, the food is not there at home and children are hungry and I have to cook, please get some food. So he goes for bath, and then by the time before he comes, there were two boys, little boys. They come, they bring a car, I mean they bring a big cart, bullock cart of full of goods, which had all the food items and all the groceries, whichever was needed for more than 6 months. So it full they came, and they gave, and then they said, your husband is very rude, right? I mean, she asked like, who are you? They were looking very beautiful little boys, and she asked, who are you, right? And then he says that your husband has sent us, please take this, and we have to go fast because if he comes and he may again scold us. Then she was surprised. My husband was not like so rude. Why are they saying so? Because they show their back. There were 3 marks, right? His Krishna's it had 3 marks on them, and she felt very bad, and she forced them to have something food, and she prepared and gave, and they had, and they left. They had some food and they left. After some time, this her husband come, and she says that there were two boys who came, right? And she explains everything. So because he's a pure devotee, he immediately understood that this is Lord himself, and he runs to the room and to see that book, because he had mentioned this, he scratched now that I cannot come directly. So Krishna wanted to prove him wrong, that of course I can come. For pure devotees, Krishna can do anything. And this is a Bilva Mangala Thakur, where Krishna used to personally come and listen to his kirtan. And he was he went blind because he was initially he was I mean, we see that uh, I mean, um, he was attached to a prostitute, and later, after he realized, he take away his eyes, right? So then later, Krishna was himself coming and feeding him. So that was the reciprocation that Lord has. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham, right? Krishna says in chapter 4. The way you surrender, I reciprocate in the same way. येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ताः यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम्. Whatever a man may sacrifice to other gods, O son of Kunti, is really meant for me alone, but it is offered without true understanding. So whatever we give to Krishna, everything goes to, give to other Lord also, it is actually going to Krishna only, but indirectly it is going. So we are doing avidhi purvakam. So this is a word we need to understand, avidhi. So Krishna is not approving unnecessary. Prabhupada writes in the purport there that Krishna does not approve unnecessary worship of demigods. So it is because it is clearly mentioned here, no? We have to believe, and Krishna says we have to believe in the words of Lord. So, and because even in chapter 5 also, it is said, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam. So I am the Bhoktar, I am the enjoyer of all sacrifice. So obviously, if it is done to the god, other gods, it is going to Krishna only. So demigods without knowledge of Krishna's supremacy is called Avidhi Purvakam. And it is a sign of less intelligence because such worship is offered to me only, but indirectly. 3 analogies have been given here for indirect worship of Krishna as improper method. Pouring water on leaves and branches and not roots, right? So instead of pouring to the roots, which can nourish whole plant or tree, if somebody is pouring to leaves, so that is not suggested. Or feeding different parts of the body and not stomach. So that is also does not make sense, right? So we have to feed the stomach. And not to follow the laws of government and offering a bribe to officers. So there's a government formed, and instead of following the rules of government, we are offering the bribe, right? To a bribe to officers. So it is like we are not going to Krishna, but then going through the devatas. So these are the 3 analogies which Prabhupada has given here. Oh. So result of such worship, what happens to such worship? They simply fall down, discussed in verse 24. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurev cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena tasyavanti te. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifice. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. So we are not saying that one should not worship the devatas or demigods. You can do. Prabhupada says, right? You can do, but only thing the consciousness is the matter. With what consciousness are you praying them? If you are praying them to give you Krishna, then they will also help. They are very happy to help because they are also part and parcel of Lord, and they are the better position because they have done so much of pious activities. They have got that position, right? So, and Prabhupada says there are 50 qualities in Lord Brahma, 55 qualities in Lord Shiva, 60 qualities in Vishnu, and 64 qualities in Krishna, right? So Krishna has 4 extra qualities: Venu Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya, and then Bhakta, Rupa, Venu, and what is that? Rupa. No. Rupa, Bhakta, Venu, and what is the other one? Leela Madhurya, the past tense. So the past tense that Krishna has, nobody else has. No other incarnation had. So of the Lord had. So these 4, Krishna exceeds all the other things. So it is that a person by pious deed can even come to a position of Lord Brahma and gain that 50 qualities. So even devatas have come like that by performing some pious activities in the past. They are able to come to that stage. So Krishna says here that if one don't understand, I mean, why I was saying that, because we should have a right consciousness. If we go that to only the devatas which are mentioned in the scripture, because there are so many where we cannot, it's not right to go to different many gods. But then the ones, if you go, which are mentioned in scriptures, like Lord Shiva or Lord Ganesh. So, but then your consciousness should be right. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitrivrataha bhutani yanti bhutejyaha yanti madhyajino bimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghost and spirit will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. So these are the destination of worshipping different demigods. So however they worship, they go to that destination. And Krishna says that whoever worship me will come to me. So glorifying directly worshipping Krishna. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupaharatam ashnami prayatatmanah. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. So it is said Krishna does not need anything from us. He is self-sufficient. No? He is Atma Rama. He is always Atma Rama, means self-sufficient. He don't need anything. But but then why is he saying this? Patram pushpam palam toyam. Because it is because if we love, we give. Because Krishna only wants our love, nothing else. Like he's a father, no, eternal father. He only expects, like when a father, when a child goes to father, I mean, father gets him a chocolate, and if a small bite, if a son, the child offers to father, father will be very happy to accept. So similarly, everything is given by the Lord only, right? We see in the cycle of sacrifice. So um, if Krishna does not give rain and there is no land, I mean, all the facilities, how can we grow anything? Everything is given by Lord, and then we offer to Lord, right? It's a cycle of sacrifice. Only then the everything will happen on time. Prabhupada says that the rain, grain, everything, right? So here, with love, Krishna only expects the love. He says bhaktya prayachati, with love, and 2 times bhakti is mentioned. So we can understand that it's very important that with love we offer. You know? I mean, very simple things. Krishna is not asking many very difficult things. And Prabhupada also says that mentions that Krishna is not saying that offer meat. No, otherwise he would have mentioned it. And we are here. We are also not saying that we are not very proud to say that there's no proud to for someone to say that I'm vegetarian or something, because it's not about vegetarian. It's about offering to food, like Krishnatarian, like offering food what Krishna has asked, the leaf, flower, fruit, or water, right? And then there are so many delicious items that we can make, like Krishna has given us a cow, no, there are so many byproducts, and Krishna is very much, we know he was called butter thief, no? So he likes that, so we can make different items from that and we can offer to Lord. And also it will purify our consciousness, because when Krishna has that, and when we after that, if when we eat it uh, uh, purifies our consciousness. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. So this is not a pure devotional service. Why? Because a person is engaged in activities that he wants. Any activity he is doing, but then he is offering to Lord. So that is something like Jnana Mishra Bhakti, how a person do. So this is also Mishra Bhakti. But then it is said it is above Nishkama Karma Yoga also, because he is doing everything, but then giving, I mean, he is giving everything to the Lord. So this is also accepted by Lord. So following acts as offering to Lord. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give away, whatever austerities. No? Krishnarpanamastu we say, right? So what is the difference in offering of pure devotees and us? Quality of devote. Yeah. What is the difference? One is the quality, because with what consciousness they offer to Lord, that differs. We offer because I like something. See, this is our consciousness. I prepare something that I want to eat, right? And then I offer because I want to eat that. I just keep, and then I keep tulsi and I offer to Lord so that I can have it. So that is not the consciousness. How do the pure devotees do? They prepare what Krishna likes, not that what I like. No? That is a quality of devotion. And we know like how Shabari, right? The quality of devotion means we have to remember Shabari and Vidura's wife, how with the so purity of heart they were offering to Lord, and Krishna accepted that also. No, Krishna said that Ashnami Priyatatmana, if you give me with love, I will accept. And he had that peel of banana also, because she gave with devotion. quality of reciprocation in proportion to our devotion, Krishna reciprocate. So there we may think, why is Krishna always favoring the devotees, pure devotees? No, why? Because the kind of reciprocation, the kind of love that they are giving is unmatchable. They have given everything, their life to Krishna. No, and so obviously Krishna will. When once in Bombay, a temple which was being constructed, the person who did that so his name was Shetty, and Prabhupada was very much liking that person. Once he come to see Prabhupada, and his dress was fully dirty and all that, his disciples didn't allow him to go inside. And that person, Prabhupada was inside having some nap or taking rest. He hears his voice, Shetty's voice, and then immediately he calls, Shetty, come in. That person goes in, and then Prabhupada says that tells him that you're making such a beautiful building for temple for Krishna, and now Krishna is thinking, how do I reciprocate to this person? So Krishna is building a temple for you in Vaikunta, right? How glorious! Because if a pure devotee is saying something, it will not go wrong. And this is the reciprocation which Krishna does. Whatever we do, Krishna gives back, in multifold. So, but then we should be so much sincere. What is pure devotion means? Doing devotional service without any expectation in return. But Krishna gives, that's a different thing. But they are not, when they do, they're not having any other expectation. No? And yeah. Shubha Shubhapalairevam mokshase karma bandhanaihi sannyasa yoga yuktatma vimukto mamupaishasi. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. Yeah. So, when a person is engaged, right, in this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and it's auspicious, because there is no auspicious, inauspicious when a person is engaged in the service of Lord. So, Iha is Brahma, it is said, it is called as Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means engaging everything in Lord service. So, such person is already liberated. That means even in this world also, is said in Rupa Goswami Prabhupada says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Iha yasya harerdasya karmana manasagira nikilashvapi avastastu jivan muktasa uchyate. Even being in this material world, you are, because he's engaged all his karmana manasa gira, through by action, mind and work, everything, the body gira. So engaged in service of Lord. So Jivan Mukta sa uchyate. Being even in material world, he is a Jivan Mukta. But he and also after, anyways, in this world he is Mukta, liberated. And when he goes back also, he is liberated. He will not come back again. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu maam bhaktya mai te teshu chapyaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me and in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So Krishna is never partial. No, Krishna is there as he gives everything, right? Everybody gets the sunlight, air, whatever food, everything, irrespective of Krishna, a devotee or a non-devotee, or atheist, everyone. So Krishna is not at all non-envious. He is not envious, nor he partial. But then Krishna adds something here. But then something. Why Krishna is more inclined towards his devotees? Because I am equal to all, but render service unto me in devotion is a friend. Because this proves that Krishna is a person. Only a person can reciprocate like this. A person, one who don't have a form or who don't have a feeling, how can he reciprocate like this, right? I mean, just like a father, Prabhupada gives example like when there's a father and 4 children, and one son is very obedient. Obviously, his love will be more towards that who is obedient and listening to all father's instruction than one who is not listening and doing all obnoxious things and all these things, right? So similarly, Krishna also, one who is so devoted, obviously he's attracted. He's also uh, render. I mean, reciprocate in the same way. अपि चेत् सुदुराचारः भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. So this is for a devotee. So we cannot comment on any devotees. So who is a devotee? And it is said in Nectar of Instruction that anyone who chant 1 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a devotee, right? So he's a Vaishnava. So we have to be very careful because this is the most important thing in Vaishnava philosophy, that if we offend a Vaishnava, that is compared to Hatimata. Hatimata means elephant spoiling the field, right? I mean, we are ourselves spoiling our spiritual growth by offending some Vaishnava. So we are not to do that. Krishna says, because even if somebody commit, because we have taken so many lives and we may commit something mistakes still, but then Krishna says that since he is engaged in devotional service, he has to be considered saintly, and he will, I mean, next shloka he will say that क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्ति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Why Krishna is saying that he should be considered saintly? Because since he is determined in the devotional service, so he will not fall down. I mean, occasionally, even if fall down, he will come back because of the association with the devotees, and he's continuously engaged in devotional service. He will become purified. That's how we become purified, right? The process itself. No, yesterday we saw that what is that? It said the process is purifying. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam. Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam means that susukam kartum avyayam, because the process itself is so purifying. In the other process of yoga, we see that first they have to control their senses, mind and all that, then they have to concentrate on Lord. But in Bhakti Yoga, the process itself is purifying. So obviously the person who is engaged will get purified. So Krishna says that Name Bhakta Pranashati. So he will never fall down. So we know like how the Prahlad Maharaj was saved by the Narsim Dev, and he not just liberated his son, but the 10 generations, 21 generations, he liberated. The Lord liberated. So becoming a devotee is not only advantage for self, but also for your parents, right? For our parents also, because if a son is a devotee, obviously he can liberate his parents. So that we see in the example of this Prahlad Maharaj. And why is Krishna saying here, Name Bhakta Pranashati, means that whatever told by his devotee will not go fail. Because Krishna may say something on Krishna may not do. Like he told that I'm not going to fight, and then he to protect Arjuna, he took out the chariot wheel. But why is he asking Arjuna, you declare? I will not declare, you declare. Because he says my devotee does not perish. So Krishna will never make a devotee word go fail. He will see to it that it will happen, whatever he said. Even if a devotee is imperfect, Krishna considered him as saintly. Why? Because he is properly situated in devotional service, and he quickly becomes righteous and attains. So these are the example. Anyone can tell me the pastimes where, what is this pastime? On the left side, what is this pastime? Who is this? Okay, one is Indra, one is Brahma. This is Brahma Vimohalela. And this was, so this is the example how, because Brahma and Lord Indra, both are devotees of Lord, how Krishna forgives them, right? Because he know that that was only like Maya sometimes. They were also, because they also come under Maya, illusion. What to speak of us? They are Brahma and Indra, if they can come in illusion, how can we understand Lord? No, even the Devatas, such big Devatas, he's the creator of universe, Lord Brahma. He can become illusioned, and he thought him to be an ordinary cowherd boy, and he took all his boys, the cowherd boys, and Krishna expanded himself, so many calves and all the cowherd boys, and then when Arjuna came in a minute, it was already 1 year past here in the earth. And then he could know, when he understood that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he repented, and he fell on the feet of the Lord for forgiveness. So Krishna forgives. So same Indra also many times he has done, and even in the after Govardhan Leela, he also asked forgiveness. No, this is after Govardhan Leela. He comes along with the Kamadhenu, and he prays to the Lord, right? So that is why we are not no one to comment on Lord Indra or on Lord Brahma also, because they are all pure devotees. They are the devotees of the Lord. Not, they are always meditating upon the Lord. Mam hi partavya yepi syukpapa yonayaha striyo vaishyastata shudraha tepi yati param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they will be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchant, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. So, whoever takes shelter in Lord, they can go to the spiritual abode. And even all the people who are born in like the four dharmas, Krishna has created four Chaturvarnya Maya system, no? The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, everyone following their dharma, they can go. Whoever surrenders to the Lord, right? They can go to Krishna. So why it is mentioned lower birth? Basically, because the austerity is not easy to follow for a woman in the women body. So though we are all spirit soul, and we have got the body because of our desires or karma, because based on that, so there's no guarantee like every birth I am a woman or every birth I'm a man. It can change every life, and no, right? So similarly here, because whoever born in as a woman, Vaishyas or Shudras also, Krishna says they can attain destination. And how much more this is so of righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings, therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving devotion, loving service unto me. So many kings, so this is Vaman, we can see Vaman Deva, right? So and this is Bali Maharaj, and this is here Shukracharya, right? So he so what is Lord saying? So after understanding that this material world is temporary, engage in service of Lord. So he surrendered. He completely surrendered to the Lord, right? To one, and he sacrificed his own life. Even unqualified classes also achieve Krishna by mercy. No distinction in different class. This was established that in devotional service, there is no distinction between higher and lower class as opposed to the material conception of life. So in material world, we have someone is rich, someone poor, someone educated, non-educated, and all these things. But this distinction are not there in spiritual world. So we see here in the picture, Jagai and Madai. They were so, they were naradamas, no? They were engaged in all sinful activities, but then the Lord delivered because of mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also showed mercy on them. So indicates power of devotional service and pure devotees. Most simple man taking shelter of pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. Even the lowest of men, the Chandalas. Importance of shelter, Vyapashritya. one who has to take complete shelter of Krishna, then one can become greater than great jnanis and yogis. Pure devotees can enable people of lower classes to attain highest perfection. Women Vaishya. So, for example, in the we see that he was a big yogi, the in the pastime of Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. No, Durvasa Muni had a capacity to go to Vaikunta also. He went to Vaikunta, but then he cannot stay there. He don't have that. God will not, has not been because he is not a pure devotee. But then because it's a yoga mishrita, he want something from Lord. But we know how Krishna protected his the Amrish Maharaj. So yeah, so that is why they are greater than Jnanis and yogis. The last shloka. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. So after knowing all this, that is the most confidential thing which Krishna mentions about this um, chapter, right? So we saw when the starting of chapter we saw that Guhya Tama and Guhya Taram. So Guhya is the confidential thing which we learned in the chapter 1 and 3, right? 2 and 3, wait, that I am not body, I am soul. And then we saw in the chapter 7 and 8, right? So that Guhyatara, that is energies of Lord. So how, and even in chapter 9 also we see many energies of the Lord, how Krishna is Achintya Beda, Beda Tattva, and how he's present everywhere. And then, so this is the most confidential. So knowing that, engaging in the service of the Lord. How to engage, Krishna says here. So he has been telling about the devotional service, but how to engage? Here he says, engage your mind always in thinking of me. So how can we always think of Krishna? So we can, by reading his books, pastimes, chanting, right? So what else anyone you can add? How can we think of Krishna in different ways? How can we absorb our mind in thinking of Krishna? Yes. Anyone likes to add? How can we engage our mind in thinking of Krishna? What else can we do to think of Krishna, or anything you are been doing so that it brings you remembrance of the Lord? So some keep the pictures or images of the past times also, you can keep in the rooms, or like when you see that, to remember, na? Or if you're working, you can keep there some pictures or of the God, so that it reminds you of the Lord. So think, Krishna says, always think of me. Offer obeisances and worship me. So pay obeisances to the Lord and worship. Being completely absorbed, surely you will come. So if we do this, so what will happen? One can go to spiritual abode. And then what is the advantage of going there? So no need of taking birth again and again in this material world, right? So Krishna consciousness is only means for deliverance from material world. Worship Krishna directly as advised. Engage mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances. Worship me. These are the sections hearing about Krishna, qualification and disqualification, Aishwarya Gnana, Krishna's Achintya Beda relationship with the material world, non-worshippers and worshippers, Krishna is the supreme object of worship, and I think one more was there, it's not visible, glories of worshipping Krishna. So yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone. Okay. Please mark the attendance I posted in the group. Okay, any questions related to today's chapter you may ask.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. We have almost covered 50% of the portions now. Just, so exact 9. So another 9 we have. And then you all will go to level 3, or maybe you can directly go to Bhakti Shastri also, whoever doing 16 round chanting. After this, you can directly take up to Bhakti Shastri. If you, or if you want to go slowly, then you can go to level 3 and level 4 and then go to, it's your wish. Angel Mataji, are you there in Bhakti Shastri? I just.
Hare Krishna Mataji. No, not yet Mataji.
Not yet. Okay.
No. Since I'm working, so I'm taking it slow little bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, if
Hare
there are
Krishna.
no other questions, we can close. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we can all chant once. You can unmute yourself 3 times. You can chant Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. See you all next week. Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Yeah.
Are you observing Ekadashi on 31st?
Pandava Nirjala?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, everyone have to take Ekadashi.
Any tips?
If possible,
Any tips?
Yeah, if you're like, see, it is actually Nirjala Ekadashi.
Yes.
Nirjala means you will not take
Without
water
water.
also.
Yep.
Yeah, tips in the sense what you can do, because the
How do
Ekadashi
you
starts
do it?
after the sunrise. Before the sunrise, you can have water.
Yeah,
Right?
before 4.
Yeah, before sunrise, we can have sufficient water. This is what I also have.
How do you do it out there?
Huh?
How do you do it out there? Like,
yeah, so last
water,
year what
like,
I
is
did
it?
the
Is it
same
plain
thing.
water?
Yeah, plain water.
Okay. And in the night, previous night?
No, previous night it is advised to take light food. And
Okay. Any specification?
No, nothing like that. Nothing
Okay,
like
out
that.
here what we do is we have like
Fruits.
What you say, not fruits, it's payasam. We have payasam in the night, and morning before 4, we take lemonade without sugar.
Okay.
And as much as possible. Like the first thing I do is always 4 glasses of water. So on Ekadashi, it's
so like before 5:30 or so, is it?
4
like
o'clock.
that?
4.
4 only. Okay.
My alarm clicks. It rings at 4. Fix.
Okay.
Wherever
so,
I am, it rings at 4.
Yeah, at least whoever is not able to, I don't know how many of you are doing Ekadashi here. So if you are not able to do Nirjala, at least do with fruits.
Water or fruit.
Yeah, water or fruit. So there are 3 types one can do. One is Nirjala, Sajala, and with fruits. So Nirjala means without water. Sajala means only with water. And the other one is with fruits. So whichever is convenient. But this is very good. If you do Nirjala, it is said that whatever we have done in the once in a year, if we have not done properly the other Ekadashi also, that will be nullified. So that is a benefit of this special Ekadashi. And you get the benefit of 1 year. Even if you have not done in the past 1 year also, if you do only one day on that day, you get all the benefit of 1 year of doing Ekadashi of 1 year. So request everyone. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for reminding that. So everyone,
Do you want to do parikrama on Wednesday?
Parikrama where?
Vrindavan.
You are doing?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to join us?
No, we are not in nearby.
I'll make sure you reach there before 5.
No, I don't know when I'll again, like we have from Mangalore, I went last time when it was Arrange Yatra. And we did parikrama that time. First time. I
Which
never
one?
thought
Vrindavan,
like
Govardhan?
Yeah, Govardhan parikrama.
Okay. But Vrindavan is half of Govardhan. 11 kilometers.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it is 26 kilometer. You were
No,
mentioning something
Govardhan is
21.
21. Yes, it's 21.
Because I had heard it is 26. I don't know. So I don't know. But it was like, yeah,
I know it foot by
it was
foot,
nice. Okay.
Govardhan, since 1998,
Oh, great. Hari Bol.
September to March. Now it's not possible. The other day we did on, I think we did it on Thursday in Vrindavan, barefoot. It was very hot. My soul burned. They were all blisters by the time we reached home.
Yeah, but then that is very soothing, na? The sand is so soft there.
In
So-
Govardhan, it is not in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is all
Okay.
concrete, and especially
Okay,
the
okay.
tarred road. It was very hot, and we
Acha.
reached a bit late also. It was around 9 o'clock. So
Where do you stay actually?
Delhi
Okay.
just took
Near to.
2 hours drive.
Yeah,
If you
it's
take the
good.
expressway, just 2 hours, and if you take the normal highway, the Agra highway, that's 3 hours.
Yeah, that's good for you. You stay very near. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Hare
ma'am.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.